Hi everyone, welcome back to Quirky Pineapples. If you're new here, I'm Vina, a plant-based recipe developer who's on a mission to show you how simple vegan baking can be. Today, I'm going to show you how to make vegan vanilla cupcakes. So these vanilla cupcakes don't require too many swaps. We'll just be swapping out the buttermilk for a vegan buttermilk. Don't worry, I'm going to show you how to make that. And we're going to be replacing the eggs with unsweetened applesauce. Now there's a few things you can replace eggs with, but I just find that applesauce is really easily accessible and user-friendly. And then of course you'll need your other baking ingredients, which is all-purpose flour, granulated sugar, some baking powder, salt, vanilla extract or vanilla bean paste, totally up to you, and some melted vegan butter. Alrighty, so first we're gonna start by preparing our vegan buttermilk. And so what I have here is just under a cup of non-dairy milk and a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar. And what that apple cider vinegar is going to do is react with our non-dairy milk and sort of curdle and thicken it to a very similar consistency to a traditional buttermilk. I do find that this does work best when you use a high protein milk like a soy milk or a pea milk. So I'm just gonna add my apple cider vinegar, give it a stir, and then I'm just gonna set this off to the side for about 5 minutes or so to let it work its magic while I prepare our dry ingredients. Alrighty, so let's get started on our dry ingredients. I'm just going to add my all-purpose flour, my granulated sugar, my salt, and my baking powder. And in case you're wondering about the measurements, don't worry, all of the specific measurements for this recipe are on quirkypineapples.com. And then we're gonna whisk our ingredients together, but my whisk is hiding somewhere. I will be right back. There we go, got my whisk. All right, so we're gonna whisk our dry ingredients together until they're combined. All done, doesn't take much, simple enough. So now let's move on to mixing our wet ingredients. All right, so for our wet ingredients, we're gonna go ahead and add our vegan buttermilk to our bowl, our applesauce, and you'll want this to be unsweetened applesauce, which is pretty simple to find, our vegan butter, and an important note is that all of my ingredients are at room temperature. So you'll want to use room temperature ingredients for this. And our vanilla bean paste. And again, you can use vanilla extract if you'd like for this, but I just really like to use vanilla bean paste because it gives that deeper, richer flavor. And I kind of like the little specks that it leaves. So totally up to you if you want to use that, okay? And one of the reasons that we prepare our dry and our wet ingredients separately is because we don't want to overmix our batter by adding one at a time to our dry ingredients and stirring it in. We'll end up stirring a lot more than what we probably would like to. And so what you'll find is the more you mix a batter, the tougher whatever you're baking tends to be. And so we don't want tough cupcakes. We want nice and fluffy, pillowy, soft cupcakes. And so that is the reason why we like to do these steps separately. Now, you can do whatever you want in your kitchen. You can throw it all in a bowl and make a one bowl recipe if you like, but just be forewarned that you could end up with some tough cupcakes, okay? All right, so let's finish mixing this up. All right, that looks pretty good. And then we're going to go ahead and add that to our dry ingredients. There we go. Yeah. And then you want to give just a gentle stir until everything is combined. Now your batter might have a few lumps, that's totally okay. but we're gonna try and work most of them out. There's a lot of like bubbles popping and crackling. I don't know if you can hear it, but that's your sort of your baking powder reacting with that vinegar, with your vegan buttermilk that has the vinegar in it. And you definitely want that because those bubbles are what's going to help make your cupcakes nice and poofy and fluffy. Yeah. All right, so our batter is ready. I'm gonna get my muffin tins, or sorry, not my muffin tins, my cupcake tins, and get them all filled up to go into the oven. All right, so I've allowed my batter to rest for a little bit so that more of those lovely bubbles can kind of pop into our batter so that we have, like I said, we want fluffy cupcakes. And by letting the batter rest, we let the baking science do the science and allow that for us. So I'm going to use my handy dandy scoop here to help me fill up my cupcake liners. I find that using an ice cream scoop is really helpful because this is pretty much like the perfect amount. But if you don't have one of these, then I would say fill up your cupcake liner probably about 3/4 of the way full. You'll leave a little bit of gap for the puffing. Okay. And I usually use my spatula to help me kind of get off any excess batter. There we go. If you don't have one of these, I recommend investing in one because they really do make baking a little bit easier. And it's kind of nice to have an ice cream scoop in the house, right? And then you kind of get to see what I mean by that perfect pour. And right now I have my oven preheated already to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. And I'm going to be baking these for about 20 to 25 minutes. But remember that your time may vary depending on your oven. I like making these cupcakes pretty much for birthday parties or office parties or anything like that. Fun fact about me, I do still work a 9 to 5. I am a school librarian and there's only one other person, I think, in the building who is vegan. So a lot of times when I make this stuff, I take it to work and she kind of gets first dibs on being able to try it, which is really helpful because my husband and I cannot eat all of this, all of my mini sweets. So it's really nice to have a taste tester. And then on top of that, having a taste tester who's also vegan. So these have been tried and tested. All right. Let's see if your girl can do it. If she has the perfect amount of batter, we might have a little bit more than enough. For the most part, these should make 12 cupcakes. So we got a little bit of batter left, probably enough for like one more cupcake or like a half of a cupcake, but we almost got there. All right, so now I'm going to take these and, like I said, put these in the oven on 350 for about 20 to 25 minutes. You won't want to pull them out until maybe you poke them with a fork or a skewer and the skewer comes out completely clean without any batter. All right. All right, so our cupcakes are all out of the oven. They're cooled, and now they're ready to get their nice little buttercream topping and sprinkles. My vegan buttercream recipe is also on quirkypineapples.com. I also have a video for this recipe that went up last week. So if you would like to know how to make my vegan vanilla buttercream, then you can go back to that video. But yeah, so I'm just gonna decorate these, make them look really nice. Which honestly is like my favorite part about making cupcakes. I don't even think it's the eating part, it's the decorating part. And if you're not very good at decorating cupcakes, like, don't even worry about it. It's not that serious. The most important part is that they taste really delicious. All right, so we got our buttercream. And then, I mean, what's a cupcake without sprinkles? And yes, I am getting sprinkles all over my kitchen counter, but that is okay. All right. All right, so let's taste test now and see how delicious these cupcakes have come out. Oh. Mm. And then I love these with my vanilla buttercream recipe because my palate isn't super sweet. And I usually like to make things where they're not incredibly sweet, they're kind of balanced out. So the buttercream is perfectly balanced for this. All right, so let's get it in here. I think I'm just gonna bite it. Mmm. Like moist and fluffy cupcakes with perfectly delicious buttercream frosting. I mean, what more can you ask for? I really hope that I don't have buttercream on my face. All right, so yeah, if you decide to make these, then please make sure that you leave a comment below. Let me know how you like them. This recipe, along with the buttercream recipe and the vegan buttermilk recipe, are all on quirkypineapple.com. But I will put the cupcake recipe in the description box below, along with putting my QR code here like I usually do. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and thank you so much for joining me again. Have a wonderful day. Hi everyone, welcome back to Quirky Pine. Why are you laughing at me?